Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Mariana Ocampo. I'm a teacher in development and today I'm going to present you a strategy to use songs in our classrooms. Music is a powerful stimulus for students' engagement because it speaks directly with our emotions while still allowing us to use our brain to analyze and associate the new vocabulary and structures easily. So students have fun while they are listening to new songs and they are also learning new vocabulary. So in my class, I use 3 stages, which are the pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening stages. So the first stage is pre-listening stage, and I decided to start my class developing a warm-up activity because this activity helps them remember what we studied in the previous class. So this activity consists of dividing the whole group into 2 subgroups. And I told my students that imagine that each group was a big dragon. And to form that dragon, each student should hold the partner's waist in front. And I explained them that the first child in the line was the head of the dragon and the last one was the tail of the dragon. And the purpose of this activity is that when I said the name of a color, each group should find an object in the classroom of that color. So a student should walk around the classroom without releasing the waist until they found the color mentioned. And I consider that this activity was well developed because they work like a team and they tried to look around the classroom, looking for the color and not just find one object but find many objects of that color, and you can see it in the following video.
Ok, listo. ¿Quién me aguanta la silla? Vamos a imaginarnos que somos un big dragon. ¿Conocen los dragones? Sí. ¿Cómo? Ajá, ¿y cómo son esos dragones? ¿Grandes, grandes o chiquitos, chiquitos?
¡Grandes!
¿Y qué?
Y si se rugen fuerte.
Ah, rugen fuerte. ¿Y qué más? ¿Tienen alas o no tienen alas?
Sí.
Sí. Ajá.
Tiran fuego, dirigimos al mismo tiempo.
Ajá. Entonces vamos a imaginar que vamos a formar un dragón. Así, so big, a dragon. Big, 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 big. ¿Les gusta? Entonces, para formar el dragón de Nicolás a Matías, nos vamos a sujetar de la cintura.
Y vamos muy fuerte.
Ajá. Nos vamos a sujetar de la cintura.
Okay, we need to know that in the pre-listening stage, students might be introduced to the topic and key vocabulary. Thus, before playing a song to students, it is necessary to introduce the topic, the keywords, and the simple grammatical structure. So, after the warm-up activity, I started to introduce the key vocabulary, which was the most common emotions and moods. And so I asked students if they remember the monster, the story of the monster that I had told them the previous class. Besides, I asked them if they remember what the color of the monster was when he was happy, sad, or angry. I did this so that they create like an association between emotions and colors. So after this brief remembering part on the board, I drew a large circle and then I drew an eyes, a nose, an ears, and a smiley mouth. And I said, I'm happy, happy, happy. And the students repeated after me. I did the same with the other emotions, which were sad, angry, and excited.
¿Ustedes recuerdan el policía? Colores. ¿Sí lo recuerdan? ¿Sí recuerdan a ese monstruo o no? Díganme que sí. San Miguel, ¿y qué le pasaba a este monstruo? Tenía muchas emociones, ¿cierto? ¿Y qué hicimos para que ese monstruo se calmara, Sofía? ¿Qué hicimos para que ese monstruo se calmara? Ajá, seleccionamos un solo color. Ajá, ¿y qué colores son esos? Necesito que me digan cómo se sentía el monstruo cuando estaba blue. Triste. ¿Y cómo se sentía cuando estaba yellow? Feliz. Ay, ¿y cómo se sentía cuando estaba red? Enojado. ¿Y les gustaría aprender a nombrar esas emociones en inglés? Sí. Préstame la atención. Esta carita ya no está happy, sino que está así. Ay, ¿cómo está? Triste. Ay, ¿y triste? I am sad. ¿Cómo? I am sad. ¿Cómo?
Then I invited 3 students up to the front of the class and give them a marker. I told each student a specific emotion and they had to draw the face that represents that emotion and the circle.
Ok, voy a elegir a 3 personas. ¿Quién quiere participar? Matías, Dylan y Santiago. Ustedes van a decir si sí o si no. Matías va a dibujar una cara sad. Sad. ¿Cómo es la cara sad? ¿Cómo es sad? No, triste. Dibujo una cara sad. Tú vas a dibujar una cara happy. Y tú una cara angry. Listo, vamos a ver. ¿Quién es el mejor dibujante?
The following activity consisted of the students having to draw the monster that I indicated to them. They had to do it in a sheet of paper. For example, I told them, okay, guys, now you need to draw an angry monster, and they did it. However, the video was wrongly recorded and I can put it here. Now we played hot potato game in order to ask students to mention the names of the emotions. Then I projected on my computer different images about a specific situation and I asked my students how they feel when they were in that situation. I also asked the class to demonstrate with their facial expression, a happy, sad, angry, or excited face. Afterwards, I invited the students to mention other situations in which they could feel happy, angry, sad, or excited. Well, in this part, something sudden happened. My students asked me to play the Squid Game, so I immediately adapted, and you can see it in the following video. Okay, it's time to while listening stage. In this part, students perform activities that directly exploit the sound, such as dancing and singing. I ask them to stand up, listen to the sound, dance or imitate the movements, and also try to sing or to say the words that they recognize aloud.
Vamos a pay attention y luego vamos a cantar y bailar. ¿Les gusta cantar y bailar, cierto? Sí, sí. Uy, tenemos bailarines en el salón.
After playing the video, I asked my students to do the movements that they could see in the video. For example, if I said happy, they had to clap, or if I said sad, they had to cry. After that, they listened again to the video.
A la cuenta. 1, 2, 3. Happy.
Now I finish my class with the post-listening stage. During this stage, the tasks and activities will almost certainly involve the integration of previous thought language with new language and ideas recently introduced through the song. Here I asked a volunteer to come to the front of the class and take out of a bag a piece of paper that contains an image that represents an emotion. The student have to represent with his or her face that emotion, and the rest of the class have to guess what the emotion is. So the person who is doing the charade cannot speak, and the other students have to shout out their guesses.
Una fichita. La fichita que ya sabe debe imitarla con su rostro y todos tenemos que adivinar. ¿Listo? El que adivine primero tiene punto. ¿Listo? Señor. Ella no puede hablar, ella solo va a escuchar. Sí, saca uno. Miren a Matías y todos adivinamos.
The second activity of this stage consists of giving to each student a piece of paper with different images about emotions. So I had a bag with many pieces of paper which had the names of the emotions, and when I took out one piece of paper, I told to my students, "Oh, here I have happy," and what they had to do was to circle the image that represents that emotion.
2, 3. Con el color red. Con el color red van a señalar todas las caritas angry. Angry, con el color red. Y el color red es este. ¿Cuál es el color red? ¿Ese es el color red? No. ¿Ese? Sí. Con el color red, todas las caritas en green. Victoria, red and green. Hay un círculo a las caritas.
Finally, we played a memory game that helped students to improve certain cognitive abilities and also to remember the names of the emotions studied in the whole lesson.
Victoria. No.
Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that the implementation of the 3 stages for using songs in the classroom can help someone to implement it in his or her classroom too. I know that I had some problems in my class because I'm a teacher in development. I'm learning. I'm in the process to be a good teacher, and I noticed that when I was editing the video, I noticed that I had to improve like my classroom management, also my time management, because sometimes there are activities that require more time that I expected. So I consider that I learned a lot about this class. And if you have any comment, please let me know. Thank you.